Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Thank you, Devin. I see your comment. We are just going live now. We did have some technical issues, but we're going live now. I will try to make the next one. Please let me know because I'm very interested in this topic. Okay. Devin, thank you. I see your comment. Let me start off by apologizing. We had some tech issues, but we're good. I was like, I am coming on today. And just so you all know, when I go live, LinkedIn always saves them. So you can always come back on LinkedIn using the same link and you will be able to access it. I believe for like the next few hours, if you go onto my profile, it will show. So thank you all. I got your messages. I'm going to make this quick and brief since I know we're running a little behind. And then I have another call at the top of the hour. All right, so we're just going to get right into it. 3 mindset shifts you need now to move into a director or VP role. You guys, this is a very important topic. Even more important than strategy, than who you know, is how is your mindset? What are your thoughts? Your thoughts control your actions, and your actions control your results. So if you were thinking there are no jobs, the job market is terrible, I'm not made out to be a leader, I'm not a good leader, I don't want to supervise people, and if I need to supervise to lead, then I'm not going to be a leader, which is not true. Okay. Or people think like, in order for me to move up, I need to keep working even more hours, and I'm already maxed out. So I have seen people let their mindset and their thoughts self-impose and self-sabotage their career, their businesses. So this is why we're going to start with the mindset. Quick intro. Hey, welcome to my channel. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome my LinkedIn folks. Hey, give me a hey, hi, let me know if you all are on. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. But I am Latrice Huff, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color. It is my mission, my movement to put more women of color in leadership roles and to put more money in the hands of women of color. Because when we have more money, we help our communities, we change the world. All right. Mindset. If you don't believe in yourself, you will not take any actions towards making that next step. You won't get into that leadership role. You won't make the money you deserve. When I've seen women who can strong arm and like override their mindset, they will take all the crazy actions, get into a role they don't like, and within 1 year, by choice or force, they are removed from that position. This is why we start with mindset. So, I want to just dive right into the 3 mindset shifts you need now to move into director and VP level roles. And trust and believe you belong in director and VP level roles. Okay. I'm going to start with this. When it comes to mindset, you can't have a 200K career if you have a $70,000 mindset. If you're still thinking like a $70,000 employee, making decisions, acting and showing up like 70,000, you want to get to 200K, it's not going to happen. So then the first thing, my first tip, and the first mindset shift you need to have is your identity. You need to see yourself already as a leader. This is why one of the first things I do with my clients is I ask them, is there any way or any place in your life where you're leading? Some of you all are already running things in your household. Some of y'all already running things in your churches, in your communities, you're volunteering. Like, where else are you leading? And you've got this, and you know how to delegate, and you know how to do more with less, and you know how to think big and manage projects. Think beyond your career, right? But then also look at your job. A lot of y'all out here already doing your boss's job. I had someone literally tell me, she was like, oh yeah, I do everything my boss does, but because she has a master's degree, that's why she's the boss. No, she's the boss because she sees herself as a leader, and she went after that role. There are leaders, and I have clients who are making 200K who have master's degrees, some who don't. Some have bachelor's degrees, some don't. Some have PhDs, and some don't. So that is not a degree is not a prerequisite to 200K, and it will not hold you back from 200K, but your identity will. You need to see yourself already as a 200K leader and worth $200,000. You want to be in that director level role, that VP level role. You have to see yourself as already the director. You have to step into the identity. So, one of the things I have my clients do is we actually practice going into that identity. One of the first things we do, I say, hey, for 24 hours, I want you to be in this identity. So for example, I had a client, she wanted to be a churro, which is the chief human resources officer. She was already second in command. She wanted that step up. She had been in the industry for 20 years. She was like, Latrice, I wouldn't be making some of the decisions my boss is making. I would be doing this. I said, okay, for 24 hours. And we prepped on this. I said, you're going to wake up and you are going to be in the identity of someone who is already in this VP, in this officer level role. Meaning, how was she dressed? Meaning, how do you answer? How do you respond to emails if you were already that churro? If you're already the director, how do you respond when someone gets you an email? When someone asks you to do something that is not on a director level? When someone comes to you and asks you to do their work, this is another thing I see, and I'm going to get to this in one of my tips. Do their work. How do you respond? Get into the identity. So I had my client do this for 24 hours, y'all. By that 24th hour, so this was the next day, she got an email from a recruiting company about a chief human resources officer role that someone had referred her for. Magic happens, but you need to see yourself in this identity first. Okay. So, first thing, you need that identity shift and already see yourself as a leader. So, already seeing yourself in that director level role, that VP level role. This is number one. Number two, you need to have the mindset that you can create your own opportunities, especially now, you guys, especially now. Right now, it is so easy to toss our hands up and be like, there are no opportunities, nobody's hiring, nothing's going on. When I can tell you all, in the last 6 months, I've had several clients get hired, earning between $150,000 and $300,000, all women of color. So companies are still hiring, but you got to create those opportunities, meaning they network, they did referrals, we did manifestation, like literally believing that you can create your own opportunities. We're not being ignorant to the external factors, but what we are being is confident in our own ability to create our own opportunities. Whether that is creating your own business. I've had women create their own businesses, whether that's going out and securing clients for yourself, going out and getting contracts for your company, going out and getting speaking engagements. I've had clients get speaking engagements, getting writing opportunities, being on panels, and then that visibility allowed them to get other opportunities, other career opportunities. You have to have the mindset that you can create your own opportunities. This is so important. I used to have a whole program called Create Your Own Opportunities, you guys. An amazing thing was what happened. We would focus on one thing. Like one person wanted to be a professor, another person wanted to have speaking engagements, another person wanted to like create this car sector of their business. So we only focused on one thing and literally created that. And it was amazing. But especially right now, there's so much noise. And again, we're not going to ignore what's happening in the world, but we do need to turn down the volume so we can hear our own thoughts. You have to have the mindset that you can create your own opportunities. That is non-negotiable. If you believe your boss controls your career, if you believe the administration controls how much you can earn. And again, right now in America, not true. I don't know if you somewhere else, but in America, it's not true. So you have to have the belief, the mindset that you can create your own opportunities. When you do this, you will be amazed from the ideas that come to you. You will be amazed. The ideas, the opportunities, the people who will show up in your life. But you have to have this mindset that I create my own opportunities. This is within my realm to create, especially when it comes to career, finances, even business. So you have to have that mindset. If you all are like, Latrice, I am loving this. I want to hear more because I'm going to be finishing up soon. I have a free workshop, how to successfully build your 200K career as a woman of color. If you're interested in that, put pivot in the comments and we'll give you the link to the free workshop. Let me put my little sign up. There we go. Put pivot in the comments. We'll send you the link. You get the free workshop. You can look at it immediately. You're also going to be on my email list. I have another workshop coming up that is only for my email list, at least right now, where it's how to get back 10 hours in your work week. And we're going to be talking about, again, how to create your own time, how to get that time back. Okay. But number 2, creating those own opportunities. You want more information, you want to get access to my workshop, put pivot in the comments. If you're like, Latrice, this is what I need, and you know you're interested in changing your 2026 and you want to work with me, just send me a DM. You can put ready in the DMs. I'll send you the link to book a call. We'll talk about where your career is and how to get you to where you want to go. All right. Here's my final one. Here's the third mindset shift you need now to move into that director or VP level role. And this may sound strange, but this is especially for women of color. You need to disconnect the concept of time and money. All right. If y'all out there, type that in the comments. You need to disconnect the concept of time and money. This is what I mean. If you're in the workforce and you started off hourly or any type of work, there's a concept of like, I put in my time, I get paid for my time. Okay. That's with anything. As a woman of color, and I am a Black woman growing up in America, I used to always hear, you have to work twice as hard for half as much. Now that math don't even math, but I do believe at some point it was necessary for my people to survive, to thrive, and overcome. Now that is not a concept I need to create my own opportunities and to move up in my career. Because what's going to happen is I'm sitting here working twice as hard, half as much. Then I have people working half as hard, making double, getting promoted over me. This is how, when you see a supervisor that has 5 years experience, you're reporting to them, and you have 15 years experience, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and you working on your doctorate. Right. But you like, I got to put in all this time. I got to prove. And this person like, no, I'm moving on. I'm making moves. This is how it looks. And then you wake up and like, well, I don't understand why I'm reporting to this person and they're making all this money, but I'm doing all the work and I have all the credentials and the qualifications. Yes, go for it. You have to disconnect the concept of time and money. And this is a concept I really see that we get stuck on. I've seen women come to me and they're like, Latrice, I'm already working 40 to 50 hours a week. I have a family, I have kids, I want to travel. If I become a director or a VP, I'm going to have to work even more hours. But it's simply not true. But let's be honest, how many of these VPs y'all see working 80 hours a week? And they be the main ones making their money. The thing is, when you disconnect the concept of time and money, you realize you're now getting paid for your ideas, your innovation, your strategies, your results, your impact. That's what you're getting paid for versus the hours or like that hourly rate or the hours that you put in, especially at these director, VP level roles, executive level roles. Even when you own your own business, this is what you have to do. You have to disconnect that concept of time and money. It is no longer a one-to-one relation. I'll share this personally. When I started to utilize this concept of like, okay, I'm going to disconnect the concept of time and money. One of the things I wanted to do was work less hours and make more money. So I wanted to go down to working 20 to 25 hours a week in my business. And I wanted to increase my income by 20 to 25%. Okay. And It was not easy, but I was able to do it. And one thing that drove me, and I was like, this has to happen. My mom wound up, she was terminally ill, and I wanted to be there when she got her treatments. So I took a week off every month. But my mom also didn't have the best insurance. She didn't have a lot of savings. And so me and my sisters had to put up a lot of the funds for her care. And we paid out of pocket for her to stay into her house and someone to come. So I had to figure out this whole new equation. But I had to get it clear in my mind first that this is what I wanted to do. So I had an extra level of motivation. But I was like, I need to increase my income, but I can't commit any more time because my time is going to my family. And I would much rather spend the time with my mom that she has left, which was amazing, versus like planning some Excel spreadsheet. And so when I got that concept, and this was around 2020, when I tell you all, it changed my life. I really started talking even more to my clients about this. What do you want to do in your life? Right? But what is this concept of time and money being one to one? What is that holding you back from? What is that holding you back from? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to go abroad? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Do you want to spend less time with your family? Do you want to spend more time with your friends? Do you want to pick up a hobby? Do you want to start a business? What do you want to do? But you're like, if I do this, then I can't go up in my career. But it's just, what if it's not true? What if you can be a director and a VP, and the skills that you will learn, those leadership skills of delegating, seeing the big picture, creating results, making an impact, will help you in your business, will help you in other aspects of your life. But first, you have to get clear on disconnecting the concept of time and money. Y'all, this mindset shift will set you free. It will set you free. Feel like we have been held hostage by this whole concept of like working twice as hard for half as much. I got to prove myself. And then when we get tired, we're like, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Then I guess I can't advance in my career. I guess I'm stalled out. Instead of like, no, what if I just discover a new way to work? What if I find examples of how this is possible? I always look at celebrities and athletes. Like, an athlete does not get paid for the time that they are on the field. They get time for, they're getting paid for their results and their potential. And their potential is not a one-to-one with their time, right? Of their working time. Yes, they're exercising and doing all these things off season, but the on season is very short compared to how some of the rest of us work, but they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Look at celebrities. Look at higher level VP people. I remember sitting there watching this executive who's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And yes, he was taking phone calls and taking meetings, and what I would say was like working, but I got in before him and I was leaving after him. And when he was there, he was networking. He was like going to dinners and meetings and lunches with people. That was his work. But what he was really doing was strategizing, fundraising, making an impact for the company. But I was like, wait a minute, I'm saying he putting in more hours than him. So we have to look at that. That is a mindset shift that I think every Black woman and every woman of color needs to look at right now, is disconnecting the concept of time of money. All right. All right. I said I was going to be quick. All right. I wanted to do 15 minutes. All right. We're almost at 20 minutes. If you all have any questions, any comments, put them in the comment section. Again, put Pivot in the comments to get access to the free workshop. If you're interested in working with me, taking this further, really being one of my success stories that we're shining and highlighting, showing how you're taking your career to the director and these VP level roles, DM me ready. I'll give you the information so we can book a call and chat. And I will see you all next week. Bye.